What's up, everybody? Welcome to the main show, the Thursday night show, the UTR podcast. It's your boy, the OTC himself, all the belts, the forever IC champ, the Are You Fucking Serious, the game show champ, the Reggie Simpson Memorial Predictions champion, the most important belt. So I'm all three of those. So thank you for joining me tonight. As always, you didn't have to be here, but you decided to be, so I appreciate you nonetheless. Let me get all this stuff all nicely set up since Greg got it all nice for me. So I'm not going to waste it while it's up here. Which one is it? There it is. Yeah, y'all know the name of the show, but welcome to the show. I'll take that off there for now. Hope everybody's having a wonderful night, wonderful week. We going into the end of the week. It's Friday. It's about our favorite day of the week. If it's payday for some of y'all, shout out to y'all. Still waiting on my damn bank card. So it is what it is, but I'm chilling. We got another storm getting ready to hit us here in Louisville also. So hunker down. And if you're watching us anywhere on the West Coast, you're in our thoughts and prayers.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, hello! Welcome to UTR. Thank you to the man, Matty Raines, for opening up. My punk ass got home from work, so I was eating.
Right.
Like, I ain't gonna lie to you folks. I just got home from work, so my ass was eating. So it took me a little minute to get on the show, but we're glad that you're here, folks. Thank you. Thank you for showing up.
Well, yeah, ain't nobody said that
yet. Right. What you call it? Well, folks, today on Under the Ring podcast, we're going to do a little something different today. Today, we're going to do our own fantasy booking. We're going to talk about what we think is going to possibly happen with wrestling pretty much through most of the promotions. I'm not going to say we're going to do all of them because guess what? Unfortunately, we have not been keeping up with all the promotions because, as you already know, we decided to go on a little TNA strike.
Right.
But we still going to predict their pay-per-views or some bullshit. We still going to predict the pay-per-views. But
right,
guess what?
Before we get into that, Greg did give us some news, and then I looked up some news while I had the countdown going. But the first part of the news he gave us Malakai Black looking like he rumored to be done with AEW again.
Mind you, the last time this man had a match in AEW, everybody was sitting there going, "Oh, this is his final match. This is his final match." And your man made a post saying, "Shut the fuck up. I ain't going nowhere." So now I'm not sure why that would be coming up again.
Right.
Because I believe he even stated that his contract isn't up until like 2027.
Yeah, it was like a few months ago. He got all pissy and was like, "Oh, I'm not leaving AEW no time soon." It's like, all right. Like, thanks. We was just wondering, like.
Right. Like, he made a whole ass post saying, "Stop believing all these dirt sheets. I don't know what the hell y'all thinking. Blah, 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 blah. I ain't going nowhere. My contract ain't up for like another 2 years. Shut your mouth." And now all of a sudden we hearing again that he may be gone. What the fuck?
And right now it said, the rumor is he's wanted out of AEW for years, and talks of dealing with limiting injuries and all that. But like we said, he shot that down. But right now it's again looking like he's finishing up, if he hasn't already, because what perked up everybody's attention was the simple fact of after they had that great match last night between Buddy Matthews and Will Ospreay, Malakai Black didn't show up as like the next person for him to fight. He just basically told Buddy, "Oh, you need to try and go become a single star." So that just kind of threw everybody off. Like, well, if he becomes a single star, that means he got to leave the House of Black. But if it's like, if you leave the House of Black, that means you got to beat up like Malakai Black. Oh wait, or did he leave already? So
that's the whole thing. Like, everybody's sitting there making a big deal. Like, oh, Will Ospreay told Buddy Matthews he needs to be a single superstar. Then that must mean that Malakai Black. No, you can leave people. I don't know if y'all know this or not, but people have left stables and become singles wrestlers all the fucking time.
Right.
Perfect example, Ricky fucking Starks, when he left Taz's stable. Okay? Like, people leave stables all the fucking time. Another perfect example of that, people leaving a tag team or fucking stable. One of the most famous tag team breakups in wrestling history, Shawn Michaels and Marty Jannetty.
Right.
Break up and still be a single star. Like, it's not that hard, folks. Just because someone says that does not mean, oh, Malakai Black is over. No. Buddy Murphy ain't got shit to do with Malakai Black. Those are two different men, two different contracts, two different life paths going on right now. And I'm pretty sure if Malakai wanted back in WWE as bad as what all the fans are saying that he does and what these dirt sheets are saying that he does, don't you think Trips, the man who fucking loved Malakai Black, would have brought him back by now?
Right.
With Trips in charge and with Paul Heyman back, Malakai Black would have already been there. Especially since it was found out that Paul Heyman was the main cause of the first push that Malakai got in WWE.
Right.
He was the cause of that push. So now that Heyman is back doing his thing, why wouldn't Heyman or Trips try to bring him back? Leave that man alone, folks. That man is chilling. He happy doing whatever it is he doing. And if he ain't happy, guess what? That man definitely has enough galls and balls to say, hey, yo, check this out. I'm not happy. Okay? And there ain't shit nobody can do about it because they're afraid he's going to kick the fuck out of them.
Right.
So leave Malakai alone. What's going on, Kanisha?
What up, Kanisha?
Leave Malakai alone. Literally. The only reason they're even bringing this shit up is because his ass is because of that goddamn comment that Will Ospreay made, which wasn't even a comment regarding Malakai Black. So I don't even understand where fans got that shit from.
Right.
He was like, yo, you're a great fighter. You know, you should really try to break out on your own or whatever the case may be. Okay. What the hell does that have to do with anything else?
And if anything, I mean, if he is gone, he's gone. Like, he's got Buddy Matthews got to be able to stand up on his own regardless.
Right. Another piece of news for AEW. It appears that Ross and Marshall Von Erich, the Von Erichs, which appeared on AEW during the summer a couple of times. They made an appearance with their dad and stuff like that. It appears they have officially been signed to AEW. Oh,
that's good. They got AEW loves them some tag teams, so that's the best place for them to be at.
Right. Definitely. And you know what? AEW has a very deep tag team roster, so I could see them thriving in that company. They have an extremely deep tag team roster. Whether or not they utilize all of them the proper way is another story, but the fact is they do have an extremely deep tag team roster, so it can definitely work in their favor. And they're the one thing I will say about AEW that I do like more than WWE is the fact that AEW has legit tag teams. It's rare that you'll find a makeshift tag team in AEW, unless they are a part of a stable and then a couple of people from a stable are tagging together. But overall, when people are tag teams in AEW, they are legit tag teams. Private Party, Young Bucks, the Lucha Bros when they were both there, FTR, the Blade Runners, and now the Von Erichs. Like, they have legit tag teams. So this is a good...
What up, Cookies?
What's good, Cookies? Cookies, by the way, Cookies, I had Greg crying when I told him that you were fucking Terry Crews. He said he thought you was a teeny man. I said, no. But AEW honestly is the home of tag team wrestling at this moment in time. So them grabbing the Von Erichs is a good move. Granted, WWE could use some legit tag teams, but hey, actually, you know what? WWE
we doesn't need any tag teams. They need to use the ones they got.
Right. Oh wow. Oh wow.
And in some other news, it has been confirmed that Corey Graves was the odd man out, and he was the one that ended up getting demoted to NXT. He ended up he's going to be in NXT until football season when Pat McAfee will leave, and then he'll get the call up to go back to the main roster.
That's kind of fucked up.
Yeah,
that's
they pit Wade Barrett over him.
and the bullshit is Graves is a hell of a lot better than Wade Barrett. Not saying that Wade isn't good. Wade is good, and he's coming to his own being on that announce desk. But overall, Graves is a lot better. Graves has. I hate to say it like this. Graves has that bitterness of not being able to wrestle anymore that makes him a good commentator. Because he's like, well, you know, it's like you can tell he wants to be in the ring. Whereas Wade and Booker, they quit on their own. It wasn't nothing that forced them to quit. They just stopped on their own. Graves was forced to stop. So you can tell he still has that excitement and that energy to want to be in the ring. So when he's calling the matches, you can hear it. You can actually hear it. Like you can tell he wants to be on that top rope, jumping off, hitting somebody with a double axe handle or something like that. So I don't know.
It's fucked up. Like I hate that it had to happen because it's a result of they got too many people, and Pat is never going to be permanent. So now that they have to have somebody to always replace, to be on standby to replace when Pat is going to go do football stuff, which sucks because it's like I don't want to be, and I'm sure Corey Graves don't give a damn because he's like, y'all ain't paying me like I'm standby. Y'all paying me like I'm just like anybody else. He don't give a shit.
My thing is this though, like, wasn't they like kind of like grooming Graves to be the next Michael Cole by having him on all the shows at one point when he was on Raw, then he'd be on SmackDown. It's like, weren't they grooming him to be the next Michael Cole? If that's the case,
he still is at this point because he's the only person. He did play-by-play just a few months ago before they started doing the switcheroo with everything, prepping for Netflix. He was doing play-by-play on SmackDown. It was him and Wade. And he had to totally do a 180 from doing color commentary to doing play-by-play. He's the only person on the roster, besides Michael Cole, who can do everything. Like, he can do play-by-play, he can do color. Michael Cole can do play-by-play, and he can do color because he can truck around. But nobody else can do that. Wade Barrett can't do that. And Joe Tessitore can only do play-by-play. Like, I still feel like he might still be. He's probably gonna still be groomed. He's still in the grooming, like grooming to be his replacement. It's just that I guess there's Pat McAfee.
Why not put Joe Tessitore on fucking NXT? Honestly.
Well, they like I don't Joe. I think Joe. They put Joe on. I think he's on
SmackDown. Yeah, him and Wade are SmackDown now. Either one of those can be either one of them.
He still has to do all the stuff for ESPN. That's why it's like when he was on Mondays, I'm like, all right, cool. He can still do commentary and do games and all that. Now he's getting moved to Friday, so it's like, all right, he's just gonna basically do SmackDown and then get on a plane and go to wherever ESPN needs him to be at for whatever game or boxing. They really like Vic Joseph. They had Vic Joseph just as a interviewer on Raw this past Monday. So I feel like he's going to eventually get a call up, but it all depends on when Cole is going to retire at this point.
Here's the thing. I forgot my man's name that they had right before Joe. The bald-head dude that used to be an MMA fighter.
Oh, you talking about something Jimmy Patrick or Timmy Patrick or something Patrick?
Right.
No, that was Tim, not him. I know you're talking about something Smith. It was Jimmy Smith. Yeah.
Here's the thing. I like Jimmy Smith. And the thing about it is one of the main reasons why I liked him is because I was probably one of the few people who actually watched the show that he had called Fight Quest on fucking Discovery Channel, where him and his boy will go around the world and try to study a different type of form of combat and then try to compete in it. Like, I watched him from that. So I liked him. And then when he came into WWE, I liked him in WWE. Yeah, he didn't have the excitement that some of the other guys had, but he was nowhere near as bad as what people were making him out to be. At least not in my...
It was nothing like he wasn't bad. He wasn't Adnan Burt when we had that dude. It wasn't like when we had him. It was cool. He was an improvement upon Adnan Burt, but he didn't hit the same. He just didn't. He didn't. The excitement. His commentary just didn't translate over well for wrestling. Joe Tessitore does a better job at it because he's done so many college football games. He know how to get that level of excitement over perfectly. But Graves
and boxing.
And boxing. But for Graves, that, like you said, that is fucked up. And then let's see, any other news? We'll get into the big news with Mark Henry. Apparently tried to take our favorite wrestler, Hulk Hogan. He said, I tried to take him on a tour of HBCUs and law schools, but he wasn't trying to hear none of that. Of course he wasn't trying to hear none of that. He racist.
He doesn't think he did anything wrong. That's the problem. Like, he still hasn't apologized for what he said. He's not going to
apologize. He
apologized. Right. He only apologizes that he got caught.
That's all it is.
He's like, I'm sorry I had to hear that. That's what his whole shit is. I'm sorry I had to hear that. Not I'm sorry I said it. I'm sorry I had to hear it. Yeah. Yes, Cookies. Mark Henry offered to take this man to HBCUs, to black law schools, just pretty much within the black educated community.
He ain't trying to hear none of that.
So that way he can go around, give an apology, and try to explain his train of thought on what he said. And Hogan said, yeah, I'm going to take a big fat no on that. You know what I mean?
He was not trying to hear none of that. And Mark Henry hit the nail on the head because that happened. All that happened, and never did Hulk Hogan ever come out and say, I'm sorry I said what I said. He is still yet to apologize for that because he doesn't give a damn. Also, what up, everybody? The teacher man up there freezing in Cincinnati, Ohio. What up? The teacher man, the good stoner Mike Hall. What up, Mike?
We can't hear you, brother. You know what it is? That man is tired because his ass had a hammer trying to break that ice because he didn't have a metal fucking shovel. That man is tired. That's what that's about. What you call it?
But yeah, the stupid shit with Hulk is just like the man was he's never apologized. So that's why. Now? Yeah, now we can hear you. What up? What up, Mike?
Do I sound clear?
Yeah, yes, you do. Sir.
All right. What's up? First off, I'm off tomorrow.
Oh, that made you go to work today?
Yeah. And it was colder. It was colder today than it was yesterday.
It's cold. We should have made y'all come in today, but y'all can be off tomorrow.
Yeah, needless to say, as the old saying goes, common sense isn't so common. But right. What's up, my NWO brothers?
What's good, brother? I see you put that hammer down.
Oh, I was cold as fuck. I said, "Fuck this." I put myself down because I got my heavy duty shovel. Because I live in Cincinnati. Who needs a fucking metal shovel in Cincinnati?
Right.
And we rarely get snow like this. This was the most snow we've had in years.
This is the most snow I've seen in like at least since I ain't seen this much snow in forever. I was living in Columbus. Cincinnati and Louisville don't get this type of snow. This is Ohio. This is Central Ohio type of snow.
Yeah, well, when it finally does snow in New York, that's the shit that we get. Like, that's the bullshit with NY. Like, we'll go a whole 2-3 summers with not, or 2-3 winters with not one snowflake, and then the next winter, then that winter we get snow, we get hit with all 3 years worth at once. That's the bullshit about NYC. Now, if your ass live in Buffalo, it's been snowing since October. And it ain't gonna stop. It ain't gonna stop until like April, May. I found that out freshman year of college.
And before we move forward, as always, shout out to the chat. Cookies, shout out to you, brother. Kenesha, my Cincinnati sister, shout out to you. Shout out to Batty. Heavily shout out to our brother Reggie. And yes, Cookies, I will do better to be on this motherfucker more on a daily. So yeah, brother, I will do better. You know what, Cookies? Thank you. Because you know what, guys? The thing about our supporters, our family, because Cookies, Batty, Kenesha, y'all are family. And the one thing about family, gotta hold us accountable. So thank you, Cookies, for holding me accountable. And you know what, brother? I will be on this motherfucker more.
So Cookies can hold your ass accountable, but if we say it's fuck y'all. That's the bullshit. That's the bullshit.
And also, to more, I brought up this point when it happened because Mike will agree. Kenny might not remember, but Mike will definitely remember me saying it. I said, "Oh, as soon as Hulk Hogan got that ass booed, oh, that's the end." I put it in UTR. That is the end of him having live showing up and getting to show up in person because that ass gonna get booed regardless. If you're gonna get booed, I better get booed with a pre-taped announcement. I'm not walking out there to get booed. But somebody in the group was like, "Oh, he's gonna be at Saturday night's main event," and I'm like, "Damn!" And then look what then happened. Per cage side seats, they've had an interview. According to WrestleVotes, after the rough reception Hulk Hogan got at the Netflix premiere, according to WrestleVotes, going forward, WWE is going to use Hulk Hogan for things like pre-tape commercials and documentary interviews. Yeah. But as far as live appearances, you are not going to see him as often.
They'll do him. They'll send Hogan out for some shit like They'll send Hogan out as like a little ambassador, like they did with Titus.
They go send him out where it's like, oh, there's little kids here. These kids don't know who he is. They just know he's with WWE. They go send him the stuff where they know there's gonna be a layup to get him cheered. They're gonna be like, who is the audience? Oh, it's 60 and 70-year-old people. Cool. They his age. Let's send him to people that like him.
Or they're gonna be like, what town are we going to again? Oh, we going to Paducah. Yep. He can go there.
Yeah.
He can go there.
Yeah, he can go there. He can go to red states. And like, I was thinking about this earlier, actually. I was like, I wonder what Trips' face was like in Gorilla when Hogan was out there.
I could tell you what his face was like. It was just like this. This nigga.
And it's also been said that despite some internal warnings that boos would be possible, many in the company are not happy that about the negative reaction to Hogan. That was a big talking point coming out of Monday's show, so they are definitely going to consider how they are going to use Hulk Hogan moving forward. This is stupid. This is stupid in there. Because y'all could have known that before y'all even jumped in bed with him. Y'all knew that.
Thank you, Matt. Thank you. I was just about to say, they played themselves.
Y'all signed a deal with a dude that y'all knew was not popular. It's 2025. Don't nobody care about no Hulk Hogan.
Here's the thing. I've seen a lot of things where people are going, okay, y'all don't like Hogan because of his political stance. And I'm like, It has nothing to do with that. I'm like, because we know more than half of the rich and famous celebrities that we like are supporting Donald Trump because of their tax brackets. Yeah. Like, we know that shit. That's a given. What we don't like has nothing to do with that. It has everything to do with him fucking saying the word nigger.
That's why, because when Kazim brought it up in his interview with Ariel Helwani, he was like, if it was political, we would have been booing Undertaker. Undertaker came out there before him on his motorcycle. All we did was sit there and cheer him and he kept it moving. Because Undertaker, at the end of the day, regardless of his political views, he is not shoving them down our throat. He might like Donald Trump, but at the end of the day, I don't give a fuck that he likes Donald Trump. He's the Undertaker. The Undertaker is the Undertaker. Like, if you are a big fan of the Undertaker, that's your dude. I'm sure, like, the people that I like, I don't give a damn who HBK supports. HBK is HBK. Like, but the difference with that is Undertaker doesn't put his stuff out there. We know he is a Trump supporter, but he ain't went on the campaign trail or none of that for him. Worst he's done is just go out and have him on his podcast. That's about it. Hulk Hogan and said the hard he said he don't want his daughter dating a nigger unless it's an 8 foot tall one of them basketball players.
Cookies, you might be one of the ones that can get a pass. You out here being 230, 6'5", looking like Terry Crews and shit.
Yeah.
He just gonna be mad you playing for the wrong team.
He didn't say all that.
He gonna be mad you.
Because even Titus O'Neil said it at the time. He said the apology that he gave the locker room in 2018. He said he's more apologizing about being caught than what he actually said. He don't give a damn. And Hulk Hogan even said, "Oh, for the people who don't accept his apology, y'all don't understand the brotherhood of wrestling." Bitch, we understood the brotherhood of you don't like us.
Right.
we understood black people. We understand the connotation between nigga and nigger.
We damn sure do.
And you said
right.
And you doubled down on your and you said you don't want your daughter dating us unless it's an 8 foot tall one of us, unless it's Omos or Obafemi. That's basically what you're saying. So right. That's the only reason you want that. You only want your daughter dating one of us because you're still going upon the age-old connotation stereotype that the black gene is superior. So you're like, oh, well, my daughter can date one. Don't need to date one of them unless they can make a super being, then I can put them into wrestling, and then my bloodline can live on forever. That's how he was thinking about it. That's the only reason he was thinking about it that way. He ain't cared about it. But on top of that, he shows up with Donald Trump. He doubled down on that shit. He's always been like Kenny complains about The Rock. But at the same time, who would you like? The Rock ain't gonna be as egotistical as Terry Hulk Hogan.
Oh, both of them niggas. Both of them motherfuckers.
Hulk Hogan is worse. Hulk Hogan is way worse.
You know what?
Hulk Hogan stopped them from unionizing in the 80s. This man been a snitch for 50 years. He's been an asshole for 50 years.
You know what? You right. He's not. Hulk Hogan is worse, but Dwayne is a good. This motherfucker loves himself so much he created a show about himself.
Oh yeah. If Dwayne is Hulk Hogan, if Hulk Hogan would have been able to be around in the early, basically when The Rock came up. The Rock is what Hulk Hogan would have been if Hulk Hogan had came out later. That's essentially what he is. Like Rock is doing
right. Rock is the new generation version of it. Like he's the upgraded technology version.
Yeah, and as much as John Cena hated on him, John Cena has now turned into a somewhat baby version of Rock. He's not going to be as powerful because he didn't come in the company at the same time.
You know what?
Rock and
you can't make me hate John Cena, man. I don't care. Nobody make me hate John Cena. Nobody make me hate John Cena.
John Cena has technically turned into he used to get on Raw. Like, oh, you're nothing more than a movie star, and it's like, bruh, you a movie star too now. Like you can't and at the same time, it's like I understood what he meant back then, but it's like, bruh, you fucked around and became a movie star yourself now. Like now, I understood what he meant back then. Oh, you turned your back on us. I know John Cena ain't turned his back on us. He's showing up for this last year and he gonna get this shit done and over with. But it's like, dude, you're a movie star now.
But here's the thing, at least Cena recognizes that shit. Cena's like, you know what? I done turned into some shit that I said I wasn't going to. Hey, you know what, fans? Y'all are absolutely right. Wrestling don't need me. Let me get this last bit out my system right now, and y'all can go back to loving wrestling the way y'all have been loving. I'll show up every now and then to say hi, and that's it. That's it.
But you know what, when you're that popular, when you've achieved as much as a Rock or a John Cena or a Hogan, you're going to automatically become, famous outside of WWE. You're going to be in movies. You're going to be in Hollywood. So I always find it funny when a wrestler says that because hell, you know who else is going to be in that sphere soon? The Tribal Chief.
Yeah, Roman is on his way to being basically done.
Bianca.
Yeah, Bianca.
Yeah. The only thing that they have against them is they won't be able to parlay it into what Rock was able to do. Because Rock essentially left. And sorry, y'all, we went into a tangent. We'll get to Dynamite soon, but it's Dynamite, so okay, like y'all missing anything. Right. So Rock is the only person who was able to parlay all his wrestling success and go to the movies. And yeah, he started off kind of whack. But the one thing where all this was, he was able to parlay it into the best thing ever is right when all hell broke loose. He just decided to swoop in because whoever is advising him or whatever told him this would probably be smart to do this. Right when all hell was breaking loose with Vince, he swooped in, bought all that shit. He bought his way in, got his trademark, and now he went from being a nobody essentially in WWE, just The Rock. Like, you're The Rock. All right, you're still big time, but you're Dwayne The Rock Johnson. But Vince got in trouble. Now he's on board of directors. He's basically number 3 in the company. Like, it's Shapiro, Nick Khan, Triple H, and Rock. Because Triple H and Rock are having a dick swinging contest.
All right.
Regardless, kayfabe or not, that's Paul Levesque and Dwayne Johnson are having a dick swinging contest. That's all that this is. The same.
All I'm gonna say is
has carried over. They're still feuding.
And all I'm gonna say is there's only one person that deserves to walk around and be able to piss on people out of those two, and that's fucking Paul Levesque. For the simple fact is that man has not given up on professional wrestling, not once. Your man went over and did a couple of movies, yeah, but guess what? His ass still was a full-time wrestler during those movie times. And he did those movies when his ass was hurt. So he ain't have to worry about being in the goddamn ring.
Like, all this comes down to, this is like, I've never watched the show Succession. Deirdre has, but I know it's basically about a lot of corporate succession. So they're all trying to see who's going to get this company when the big man dies. Who's going to get this company when Vince dies? Vince took that out of their hands because he's like, fuck this. I want money because I'm about to get sued.
You ain't lied after that.
Like, Vince basically said, I need money. I need some money. I'm merging. What up,
Dolores?
Vince went ahead and took that merger and was like, fuck a succession plan. Y'all can fight. Y'all gonna basically fight on who can be. He took it out of being a family business. Triple H married into the family and became basically the apple of Vince's eye because he said, fuck a Shane. Rock is basically Vince's wrestling son. Because who did Rock join when he won the championship? He joined the corporation. When he turned on The Rock at WrestleMania, he said he turned on The Rock because The Rock never thanked him for making him. So there's his other son. So he's like, oh yeah, you can buy your way into the company. Here's your trademark, Dwayne. I love you. Because Dwayne is the last person who got to become a movie star on his watch as far as he's concerned. Because after that, he said, ain't nobody else going to get to become bigger than the company.
Yeah,
John Cena is John Cena, but John Cena ain't like The Rock. If you think about it, John Cena ain't like Stone Cold and The Rock. He's John Cena. He might have told he got the most make-a-wishes, but he is still not on that level of Rock and Austin. And even if you think about it, Austin and Cena are more popular than The Rock, but The Rock is the person that got all the company shit. He the person running the company.
That's because Rock fucked around and became the highest grossing actor in Hollywood.
Yeah.
But and we're not gonna, you know what? We can have a whole discussion on Dwayne. Okay.
I like Dwayne. Dwayne, but there's a point.
I don't like his acting. I don't like his wrestling. I don't like his promos were cool. His promos were. I'm not gonna say cool. His promos were fire. I hated him in the ring. I hate him on my movie screen. His best role has been Maui. And that's because it's a cartoon.
But I ain't got no kids, so that's why I ain't never seen this shit.
Listen, bro.
It's clear.
Moana's a must watch. Kids are not. Moana's a must watch, bro.
Yeah.
See, my favorite.
Yes, I have seen the rundown.
The rundown.
My man Sean is the one who kept that movie alive, not Dwayne.
My favorite rock movie is Walking Tall, Forever and Always. I don't care if it is a remake. That is The Rock at his best, as far as I'm concerned. But The Rock it's clear, like when Rock went off to do movies, he had to literally get out the mud because he had to do a lot of horrible movies. And from him doing a lot of horrible movies to Mike's point, becoming the highest grossing star, there, it's like, oh, if you get The Rock in your movie, people gonna watch it regardless. Christopher Walken, is that the one with Christopher Walken's creepy ass? I think so. Yeah. It's the one with him walking around with 2x4. Mm-hmm. that movie is awesome. And Gridiron Gang is somewhat good. He had to do a lot of horrible movies, but from that time, from him becoming like garbage to becoming the highest grossing star, his ego has like grown. And it went from like when he first started, he was not at Hulk Hogan levels. And as I've watched him get more and more famous and be on more and more Fast and the Furious movies and other stupid ass movies, and like see how he got an alcohol, he got Terramana, he got this, he got that. Oh, he's taking over the XFL. It's like, all right, you're Hulk Hogan. Your ego has gotten into Hulk Hogan territory where it's like, y'all need to see me. That's all that the People's Championship is. Because when he going into that, he didn't have a belt. Roman had a belt. Seth had a belt. Cody had his weight belt. What did he do? Start beating Cody with the weight belt. Then after he started walking around with the weight belt. Then after that, coincidentally, Muhammad Ali's widow made him People's Champion again, and then he got the belt remade. The belt that he had is only a variation of the WWF Championship that he was supposed to have personalized for him during the Attitude Era. It got lost in shipment. They never debuted it. Then they showed it off a few years, like 10 years later after the fact. That is just a variation of the championship that he was supposed to have. Stone Cold was going to have the Smoking Skull belt, and The Rock was going to have his own personalized belt. It never showed up, and they scrapped it. That is the only reason he has a belt. But let's get to AEW Dynamite. Fuck The Rock. Fuck Hulk Hogan especially. Shout out to WWE and Netflix for them having like 6 million people basically watch that 3-hour extravaganza with
it was from
3 hours.
It was from what I saw between the pre-show and stuff like that. It was 4 hours.
Oh, I'm not counting that. I'm not counting no pre-show and post-show.
Hold on. 4 hours of taping, and in that 4 hours, 1 hour and 59 minutes of that were
that's three. The 3 hours show had 1 hour and 50 minutes of wrestling because the post game didn't have nothing, and the pregame ain't gonna have nothing. So 3 hours.
About an hour of wrestling out of a 3 hour show.
That makes sense. For 3 hours, they had an hour, basically an hour and something. What'd you say? An hour and 30 minutes or hour and 50 minutes?
Hour and 59. Damn near 2 hours of
2 hours of wrestling out of 3 hours. Okay, that ain't bad because the show started.
No. 2 hours. No, the 2 hours were.
I'm not counting that. Or that pre-show. There's no wrestling.
The 2 hours. No, listen. The 2 hours out of all of the time that the fans spent there, fans spent 4 hours there. 2 hours of that were ads, flashbacks, promos, and vignettes. So basically, there was literally only an hour of wrestling.
Yeah, Cookies said Cookies has it at, they have it on Netflix at 2 and a half hours. I think 2 hours and 25 minutes. Someone on Twitter said they ended up editing. They took off 37 minutes of just bullshit and promos after that. So even we got 3 hours. So a 3 hour show got condensed down to 2.5 hours of bullshit. And then if you was there in real time, you sat there for 4 hours. Either way, I mean, a 3 hour show, you only got 2 hours worth of wrestling. That's cool. If you sat there for all 4 hours in real time, yeah, for half the show, you just looked at the screen. That's basically what they both gonna have. So the pay-per-views with pre-shows and post-shows and all that are gonna have 4 to 5 matches. Basically, every Raw.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I miss matches on actual pre-shows from WWE. I kind of miss that because some low key those used to be like some of the best matches of the goddamn pay-per-view sometimes. You know, so I kind of fucks with that. Like I miss that. Like I don't want to sit there. If I turn on Peacock for a pay-per-view, okay, the shit is sitting there, and then there's the actual show is gonna start now. I'm like, oh, they starting early. Okay, we gonna get it. Nope, I got a whole hour of whoever talking. fucking Peter Rosenberg. I don't like, yo, that's my boy and all, but I don't want to see him for a whole hour before every fucking pay-per-view. I really don't.
Yeah, that's why. Like, I don't watch the pre-shows because I already know more than likely now it's not going to be a match on there. It's just going to be them talking. Like, if it's going to be on, it's just going to be on as background noise, so I don't forget to turn on Peacock. But like them, I would say like for Monday, this past Monday is going to be more of outside of the normal. We'll probably have more often than not. We'll be back to the normal Raw format where we'll probably have 5 or 6 matches because every week is not going to have a Travis Scott or a Hulk Hogan or any of that BS.
Oh, no, Travis Scott definitely ain't coming back for a minute.
If he ain't getting in trouble for that smoking, they said he'll be all right. They're going to use him more in the future, but he ain't going to be back on time. He ain't going to be on there every week.
Nah, you know what though? Doesn't he? Isn't he the he's in the opening theme song for them? So he'll be around.
Yeah, he's the opening theme for Raw, and he's got the theme right now. That's what they use for WrestleMania. That's his song, but they haven't said it's officially it's him yet, but it probably will be.
But yeah, let's get into a little bit of AEW.
AEW Dynamite. It started off with Buddy Matthews and Will Ospreay.
Hell of a good match. I can't even lie. Like, I have no complaints about this match whatsoever. Good finish, good, like, banger. It right, Cookies. Right. You took the word right out. That was a hell of a fucking match. I got no complaints.
Been in their bag for the past 2 weeks. Like, they've been in their bag, but ever since, like, now that they're on Max, they've made sure to go into overdrive and putting on a good show. Because they know what they have in their possession now. It's like, yeah, y'all got Max, show out, and that's what they've been doing. Will Ospreay ends up defeating Buddy Matthews with a damn hidden blade. That hidden blade is fucking deadly.
Here's the bullshit. He hit Buddy with it one time and Buddy kicked out. Then he took off the elbow pad and fucking murked Buddy. Just murked him. Just pink. Buddy went night-night. And then that's when, after the match, Will comes and says, hell of a good fighter. You need to go on your own. You shouldn't be worried about blah, blah, blah. And that's when everybody started talking about, oh, Malakai Black is done. And no. He's just telling Buddy it was a good ass match, which it really fucking was, and that he should think about breaking out on his own. End of story.
And then after that, we had a Private Party make their entrance to cut a promo. And before they could really even get into really cutting their promo, Hurt Syndicate came out there and interrupted that ass. So we're basically on the road to Private Party, Hurt Syndicate. Slowly but surely, they going.
No, ain't no slowly but surely. Hurt Syndicate said it loud and clear. Cheers to because they were like, oh, take some shots with us. So they poured them all some shots. And Bobby Lashley said, cheers to the Hurt Syndicate taking those tag team titles.
Oh yeah, they're going.
So basically,
we on the road to it. We don't know when the match gonna happen, but it's gonna happen.
We got to see black on black crime, folks.
That would be the tag team equivalent to Brock versus Kofi.
Them niggas is about to die.
And then we get the first time ever Mark Briscoe versus Bobby Lashley. And it was a decent match. It was a pretty good match.
It actually was. It actually kind of was. And you know what, Matt, yesterday I was talking about, I was like, I've never seen them two in a match together before, so I don't know how well they'll mesh. They actually, funny enough, they wrestled a very good WWE match. Exactly.
Them niggas gonna die.
Them niggas gonna die. That's exactly what's gonna happen. It was a good match. It was better than what I expected. So So far, AEW was 2 for 2 for the night.
And Bobby ends up making him tap out with the hurt lock. Her syndicate goes ahead to go try and beat that ass some more. But Private Party makes a save. Then we get the Casino.
Hold on 1 second. The hurt lock has got to be the most embarrassing way to tap out in professional wrestling. You got somebody hemming you up like this to the point where you can't fucking get out. And all you got to say, all right, they got quit. That's like when you grab a little kid. It's something you do to a little kid. Like, get your little ass over here. I'm like, I quit. Like, that's got to be that's the most embarrassing tap out in all of professional wrestling. A fucking full Nelson. Like, you do that shit in real life. Like breaking up fights or something like that. Mike, you a teacher. You done broke up a fight. You done put a little kid in the full Nelson, whether you wanted to or not. It happens.
And there's nothing they can do.
Right.
Get off me. Get off
me. Now you got another grown man doing this to you. See, that's why I can't be a professional wrestler. There's too much shit as a grown man I'm not having. I just can't do it. You're not throwing me. That's number one. You're not picking me up. Nah, I'm a grown ass man, and you're not hemming me up in no damn hurt lock. Nah, fuck out of here. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, Matt, but that just.
Oh, you heard. And then we get this Casino bullshit ass gauntlet match for the AEW, the new number one contender for the AEW world title. You had Adam Cole versus Hangman Adam Page versus Daniel Garcia versus Jay White versus Jeff Jarrett versus Kyle O'Reilly versus Lance Archer versus Ricochet versus Roddy Strong versus Wheeler Yuta versus Powerhouse. I ain't even gonna go through this whole match. After everything was all fucking said and done, Powerhouse new damn number one contender.
Motherfucking neither, Cookies. You ain't swinging me either. You're not swinging me like Cesaro. You're not doing that shit to me. You're not, yo. Ask Tito. Tito was there when I told a professional wrestler to his face, I can't be a wrestler because I'm not allowing you to pick me the fuck up. I'm going to punch you in the throat. I told a professional wrestler this face to face. Listen, we were literally talking about we were talking in the chat about people joining Hurt Syndicate and stuff like that, and how I felt like the Hurt Syndicate needed a third person. And
they definitely are looking for one. They need to stop playing. The best thing they're doing is teasing who it's going to be because it can literally be anybody at this point.
Right. I said Hobbs would make a great choice for them. And if it gives him direction, yeah, like Hobbs could be that guy. Like he had a following. When he comes out, people go, "Oh shit!" Like when you hear that Powerhouse, like people get hyped up for it. Put a belt on him. You're absolutely right, Matty. Put a belt on his ass. It ain't gonna happen next week though, but put some type of gold on him.
But yeah, I definitely agree with that. I'm a big Powerhouse Hobbs fan. And the rumor is he's the one that's dating what's her face? Adam Cole's old girl.
Britt Baker?
Yeah, Britt Baker. That's the rumor. It's either Britt Baker or no, not Britt Baker. It's the other girl, Lana. That's who it's rumored he's dating Lana.
What, Powerhouse Hobbs dating CJ Perry?
Yeah, it's either CJ Perry or Britt Baker. It's one of them white girls. It's one of them. He's dating. It's one of them that he's rumored to be dating. Bro. Yeah, Powerhouse Hobbs over here breaking up homes.
This nigga took. No wonder fucking Adam Cole look like he got jaundice. He know he can't beat Hobbs' ass.
It was one of them he's supposed to be messing with.
Oh shit. Either way, whoever it is, I can't beat his ass. So y'all fuck. Y'all just
then
fuck
we get Then Hobbs' interviews and say he gonna make Jon Moxley his bitch. That's a lie, but good try. Jeff Jarrett gets interviewed, and we get MJF interrupting him. So I guess we're gonna get MJF versus Jeff Jarrett, and nobody cares. So
not one bit.
Nobody gives a damn. We get Adam Cope. We get Cope. We don't give a damn about no Cope, but he over here talking his shit about Jon Moxley and all that. I really don't care about them feuding. Like, that's a feud where even if it was WWE, I don't want to see Dean Ambrose versus Edge. I don't want to see Cope versus Jon Moxley.
Cope. Like, you know why he changed his name to Cope, right? Because he's hoping we can cope with the bullshit that he's doing right now.
It is some bullshit because I'm not calling him no Cope. I call him Adam Copeland. I'll call him Adam. I ain't calling him no Cope. I don't know. That feels like I need to know him. We call him some Cope. Hope. Ass.
That nigga's name is Dwight Haven. All right? That's what we call him.
Get him talking shit, and then Powerhouse Hobbs apparently makes a save while they all start fighting. Whoop-de-doo. We get Chris Statlander versus Tony Storm versus Willow Nightingale. This is a great ass match. Emphasis great and the ass, because this is a lot of good ass in this match. This is a really good match. On top of that, but Chris Statlander ends up winning by pinfall, so she will earn the right to enter next week's Casino Gauntlet match that the men just had theirs this week. She gets to enter next week at number 1.
Whoopsie fucking do. I don't understand why would you want to be the first person in a. This is pretty much a battle royal.
You read my mind on that. I said that makes so sense.
Yeah, you're supposed to work smarter, not harder.
Right. Like, listen, thickness ain't the word that was in that ring, boy. That girl Willow. Ooh wee. Ooh wee.
Okay, Cookie said it. There you go. Okay.
But you know what, though, Cookies? In these types of matches, you know that's not happening. Now, in reality, yeah, you can fuck somebody up with the quickness.
Cookies. Here's the thing, Cookies. You're trying to do something that doesn't happen in professional wrestling. You're trying to make sense.
Exactly, yeah.
Stop it.
Makes too much sense, Cookies.
That makes too much sense, Cookies. Stop it.
Wrestling is all about the outlandish.
Right. It's all about hoping that your viewer is stupid. And that's what it is. Okay? You no. No. Think about how many times wrestling has made rules and they don't even understand it. Don't make it make sense for them.
No, I'm with Cookie. He's like, he ain't saying this smart. He just explaining it like, oh, that's why they do it. But the final segment of the night, basically our main event, is Kenny Omega coming out there giving a whole speech about what he came back from and all. But it ends with the Don Callis family
jumping.
Don Callis forever is going to hate Kenny Omega. I'm reading this and I'm like, of course it's the Don Callis fucking family. They're always going to interfere.
Nah, Kyle Fletcher hit this motherfucker with a old school gut punch that took Omega. Because remember, Omega had the diverticulitis for his stomach.
Right.
Kyle Fletcher, they had Omega held his arms back, open chest. And Kyle Fletcher hit him with the good old right in the fucking belly button. Yo, I hollered. I was like, I ain't seen nobody get punched in the gut like that. No.
Tony Khan. Hey, Tony Khan. Who you fooling? Because I sniffed this out in a heartbeat. Because I said it in the chat last night. I said, hold on. Did they just redo the same promo he had before he went on the shelf again?
Yeah.
The exact, because he started talking about he started talking about his damn gut. I'm like, wait a minute. He started off his last promo like that. And then they did the same shit. Instead of it being the Bucks, it was the Don Callis family. They reenacted the exact same fucking promo. I said, Tony Khan, ain't this a
Yeah, you ain't slick, nigga.
Because he hopes people don't remember, and you did.
Exactly. My high ass. I was like, wait a minute.
See, there you and Cookies go, making sense. Stop paying attention to shit, motherfuckers. Stop making sense. This is wrestling. Supposed to turn your brain off. Supposed to turn your brain off. This wrestling.
That is AEW. Last night's AEW Dynamite. It was a decent show.
It was cool.
But let's get into what we really here for. It ain't no actual predictions. Ain't no titles getting put up. But 2025 predictions. What's your wildest prediction going into title changes, hirings, firings, special branded events, anything motherfucking goes? Predictions. I feel like Mike, because when Greg brought this up and he brought up Mike's prediction about those titles, I was like, Mike gonna probably keep gonna hold on to that. He waited on that to happen.
Exactly.
Yep, that is numero uno on my list of predictions for this year. I'm
Cookies. Cookies, you asked, was this for points?
No.
Mongo said that he would keep track to see like how everybody's prediction went. So I don't know if he's gonna do something with that.
It ain't for no type of championship. It's just
what do we think is gonna happen this year?
Yeah, it's just best.
You know what though? I say we make it like a King of the Ring style tournament. If your shit don't happen, you get eliminated. Fuck it. We need a new belt since we can't have an IC title. Nah. Nah, we don't need no extra belts. We don't need no extra belts. Well, this is a whole different type of prediction. Right. Mongo did say
I don't think he is. I feel like it's just us thinking what's gonna happen in 2025 since we fantasy book so much.
All right. Yeah, so what we're gonna do is everybody give us your top 3 things that's gonna happen in professional wrestling. And we're gonna, and I say the top 3 because it's gonna be one thing from WWE, one thing from AEW, and one thing from TNA. So, like for Mike, he can say, for my AEW, I'm sticking with that, them belts being combined to be the Intercontinental title. He can say that. You can be like, oh, I think by the time the next SummerSlam, it's going to be this person and that person. Or
I'll get my TNA one out the way right now. I'll say right now, in 2025, I don't know when, but in 2025, Tesla will be winning the TNA World Championship.
Yep, that was mine.
Now
I was gonna say she gonna take the belt again and go home.
Cookie said, Will Ospreay beats Omega for the AEW World title. Tessa is gone before August. And Montez Ford wins the singles title. Okay.
I like those. I actually like those. Those ain't bad. Those ain't bad at all, Cookie. I'm going to go with, for my AEW, Will Ospreay is going to beat Okada for the AEW World Championship. Because eventually we're going to get New Japan. What you call it? We're going to get a New Japan match for the AEW World title. And even though Ospreay and Omega is New Japan, it's going to be the Rainmaker. I'm going to say Ospreay beats the Rainmaker for the world title. My TNA, AJ Francis will be their world champion at some point.
Okay.
And for WWE, Carmelo Hayes will be a mid-card champion before this year is out.
I don't even know what to say for WWE because there's so much stuff that can happen in WWE. AEW. I feel like for AEW, we are going to get.
Ooh. That number 2 sounds. I like number 2, Batty. I like number 2.
AEW, something's gonna happen. Something's gonna happen with Mercedes Moné. She's not gonna still be in that company by the time this year is over. I just don't see it. It's just something that's gonna happen.
Yeah, she's going back to where she needs to be.
And then WWE. Shit, I'll go with the layup. Javon Evans gonna win the NXT title sometime in 2025, baby.
Who?
Javon Evans, the young OG.
Well, you guys already know AEW for me. I'm sticking to my guns.
Mike said that shit gonna happen one way or another. Make belts or die trying, motherfucker.
That's make a belt, die trying. For TNA, I think Tessa, she's gonna take that belt to Matt's point. I think she's gonna do the exact same shit she did before.
That'd be so funny, and we'd just be like, "That's what y'all get."
Because what they're gonna do is they're gonna turn that into an actual storyline. They're gonna play that out on camera, and I'm gonna go left field with this prediction, but I can see them doing it. Bianca's not the one who attacked Jade. Charlotte is. Charlotte makes her return at the Rumble. And then we find out that she attacks Jade. And the person who helped her do it is Bayley. We always see Charlotte interact with Becky and Sasha in terms of the horsewomen. But we never really see her interact really with Bayley before.
Yeah, that is true.
We've never really seen those two members of the horsewomen interact. Always. Because I would love to see a heel Bianca, but she's too big of a superstar, a megastar for them right now. They're not going to turn her heel no time soon. Now, if I'm wrong, what could you say?
Because Batty said your idea was smart.
Fight! Oh! Oh, God! Sheesh. Yeah. I think Charlotte, they're not ready to turn her heel yet. She's too much of a megastar. She's too much of a moneymaker. Like, and we've all said it before, she's female John Cena.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, she's definitely Jane Cena. I'm interested to see how Charlotte comes back because I saw something overseas, the UK, the betting favorites for the Royal Rumble is Io Sky and Charlotte. So it's like, Is Charlotte going to come back and win the Royal Rumble, or is Io going? Now that they finally got the bullshit out the way with Rhea and Liv, and they had Io just standing there on standby. Is she going to be the person to win the Royal Rumble? It's either Io versus Rhea or Charlotte versus Tiffany. That's which is the more compelling story you want to see at WrestleMania as a main event. And let them up again.
Kanisha said Trick is going to go to the Royal Rumble and win it. Wow.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then she says Swerve is going to join the Hurt Syndicate.
Swerve Enterprises and Hurt Syndicate doing merger.
Then what? Like, you can't have, I'm going to be honest, you can't have another big single star in there with Bobby.
Yeah.
It has to be a mid-card person that they can team up with Sheldon or something like that. Like, you can't have
so we don't know what Tony Khan be smoking.
Like, you can't, because if you put Swerve in there, then it's going to turn into the power struggle of who's in charge.
Yep.
Which is going to lead to the breakup. And then Swerve can cut his own promo. He doesn't need MVP to cut a promo for him. Lashley and Sheldon.
Oh, Shane Taylor. Shane Taylor out of Shane Taylor Productions. He got his own stable at ROH.
Right. Shane Taylor Productions.
Trisha Dora and all them had just joined his group.
Yeah, I can't see Shane Taylor Promotions with the Hurt Syndicate. Yeah.
Even though he would be perfect for him.
Like, it has to be. That's why I had mentioned Rico earlier or last night, because even though they called him corny and they dissed him already, it's clear that he's on a heel turn.
Well, after he stabbed Swerve up, yeah, he can definitely.
Yeah, he's definitely a heel. He's definitely a heel now. Man, done bloodied up Swerve. They done threw toilet paper at this man.
Yeah, he's full blown heel now.
Yeah, that man became Rick. That man is Rick from Degrassi. All he need is a gun. He gonna shoot Jimmy.
like the Hurt business could spin that block again and say, hold on. Maybe you weren't as corny as we thought you were.
Yeah, after he shoots somebody, they about as well. They gotta accept him. He's shooting people.
Yep, him and Shelton can run that tag team division.
Shelton out here whipping people's asses in AEW. Like, he is beating the shit out of people. Like,
he was getting held back in WWE. Like, I get tired of MVP bitching and moaning and whining and all that. Well, Triple H was fucking us over. It's like, y'all just didn't. There was nowhere for y'all because of y'all's age. Like, in AEW, y'all make sense. Y'all just didn't make sense anymore. Like Sheldon, like Bobby just didn't want to. He just said, fuck it. Same thing with, that's all that happened. That's really all that happened. He didn't want to be hanging around with the Street Profits. He felt like he could be more than that, so he left.
He went back to being the Almighty.
Right.
Which was, I think, here's the bullshit. Him with the Street Profits was a good look and a good move.
Right.
If he'd have stuck around for it, I'm pretty sure they would have put him in a world title position. Because that's the three of them together. You could have had Street Profits as tag champs. Bobby is the goddamn world champ.
Yeah.
And then you can have Montez grab the mid card title while you in there.
But what's always been the theme with the Street Profits? They can't win gold. So now you got to stand still with that stable.
That's what messed them up, because that took away their whole little push. Because they probably, if he had never left, if Bobby never just up and left him, they probably would have won. But he up and left, so they just probably scrapped all those plans and said, "Well, we're gonna do something else now. Y'all hold tight." Now they still holding tight.
Yep.
It really could have. That group could have been the shit but he chose.
He saw what they were doing. It's like I just said. He saw what they were doing. We're creative.
Mm-hmm.
They were holding that stable back creatively.
He got tired of the slow burn because it took them forever to even finally start having them do anything. Because at first they were going to be heels, and then when they saw nobody wants them as heels, they got to be faces. He got tired of all that, and he's just like, you know what? And on top of that, he had MVP in his ear, and MVP is like, no, we want the Hurt Business.
This nigga said, oh.
And could you imagine? Look, we all love Gunther, but could you imagine Bobby Lashley as World Heavyweight Champion and the Street Profits as World Tag Team Champions right now? If they had pushed
no money,
that's fucking money. That's a money ass heel stable.
But between MVP wanting the Hurt Business to be back and Bobby Lashley wanting to call Gunther a Nazi, it's like, yeah, now we see why y'all not in WWE.
Right.
Like, now we see why y'all not in WWE because y'all suggesting stupid shit. MVP wanting the Hurt Business to fight the Bloodline. Like, that's coming past, bruh. We do not want that. Y'all want to fight Death Row Bloodline and lose? Because
Jacob alone is gonna whip all y'all asses.
Mm-hmm.
So, y'all was gonna lose to OG Bloodline, or y'all can lose to the new Bloodline. Y'all was gonna lose regardless.
Right.
Like, it does not matter. I want to fight Gunther, and you gonna lose because it's Gunther. Like,
mm-hmm.
Hate to tell you this, my man. You ain't got enough eyebrows to win.
Like, him and the Street Profits would have been a good look. Him, especially with them being on, they started off on SmackDown, transitioned over to Raw, because Raw has the title that actually changes hands. I could, like Mike said, you can definitely see them walking around being the world tag champs with Bobby being the world champion. It's a great look, but nope. People want to be impatient.
Fucking MVP, big ass forehead, receding hairline ass.
You could have low-key had a Black Evolution.
Right. Like Batty just said, she said, that's my only problem with them. They like to bitch. Exactly. They bitch too much. And then they're like, well, I had these fire ideas. It's like, all right, what was your idea? It's like, no, your idea is ass. No. That's why.
Don't nobody no damn Nazi on television, boy.
I see why they said no. That's a horrible idea.
Like, boy, is you stupid? Like, what is you thinking? Sit your ass down.
Right. Like, no.
Like, go sit your ass down.
He's still thinking this 2007 shit. Taking this damn near 20 years ago when you can say crazy ass shit like that.
Hey, no, we cannot say nothing like that on TV, Bobby Lashley. You cannot call him a Nazi. Like, no.
What the fuck is wrong with y'all? What the fuck is wrong with y'all?
This man still behind that curtain. Oh no. Stupid ass.
All right. Well, we gave our predictions. We talked about AEW. Anything else we need to talk about tonight, fellas?
Oh no, I think that's about it. We have definitely been sufficiently electrified.
Yeah.
Show.
Ha 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 ha. Once again to the Hulkster. Y'all know The Rock's my all-time favorite wrestler, but I agree with what Kenny said. He's an egomaniac. Like, this week alone has just been utterly ridiculous.
He's not wasting a lot of our time, but the best part is we ain't gotta see him for the foreseeable future. We probably ain't gonna hear nothing about him until the Royal Rumble.
Exactly. And then with Hogan, we ain't gotta worry about seeing him on live television again, especially
all this stuff about to be pre-tapes.
And,
Yeah, nigga went in his car, cried. Like
Yeah, they said he was utterly shocked. The reports are he was definitely shocked that he got booed, and he was disappointed.
You can see it then.
Right.
That man in total shock.
First of all, that's what he get for wearing Mr. Potato Head sunglasses.
That's what he gets.
What you doing with them little
booty ass beard?
Don't be surprised if that fucking real beer, real American beer fucking logo disappears off the mat soon.
Oh yeah.
I was shocked he even got to deal with WWE because that beer, when it was announced a few months ago, I saw it for what it was. It's just a cheap marketing ploy. I said, I'll be surprised if real American beer is still around in 2027. And now he got this deal with WWE, and WWE is, or TKO or whoever has an ownership stake in it, so that's going to make it last a little bit longer. But I ain't heard nothing about that beer. Everything I've heard about that beer is it's ass. It's not good.
But you know what, man? People in our country love shitty beer.
Yeah.
Because it's cheap. They love cheap, shitty beer.
Like, he is trying to, real American beer is basically supposed to be a play on of whatever beer that they didn't like. What Bud Light. That's all it basically is, Bud Light. I don't even drink Bud Light. I drink milk. If I'm not don't want to drink craft beer, I'm gonna drink Miller. That's what I started. When I started drinking beer, it was Miller Lite. So I ain't gonna drink no Bud Light. Bud Light is nasty to me.
I ain't gonna lie. Hold up. On a hot day, a little Bud Light lime.
Yeah, that's the only one I like. Is Bud Light.
That shit will hit the spot. On a hot day, a little cold Bud Light lime, little.
And
just a little bit.
Garage beer with lime, so I always just get that if I see it, or get a Corona, and get my own limes and
exactly cookies and batty, exactly. Like trash beers, so many people that love. Like, think about it. The beers that I saw growing up was Bush. I seen shit like Bush, Milwaukee's Best, any type of malt liquor.
Oh yeah.
Nigga.
Budweiser.
I'm old, bro. I'm old. When I was young, if you ain't see no fucking 8-ball, no motherfucking Old English, or no Coke 45.
Oh yeah, Coke 45, Old English.
All that malt liquor, Coke 45.
Nigga, Thunderbird.
Bud Heavy. Yeah. There was no Bud. I mean, Bud Light was Bud Light, but wasn't nobody drinking no Bud Light. People was drinking 40 ounces of Bud Heavy, just Bud.
Mad Dog 2020.
Yeah, Mad Dog, Red Dog.
I put it to you this way. There was a point in the hood when I was in my teenage years where every nigga in the hood was drinking Steel Reserve. Every nigga was walking around with a big ass 211 bottle.
One of the breweries in town, they made a malt liquor. Like Hulk Hogan has that real American beer is marketed to be like, oh, this is for the hard working man, basically the working man's beer. And I will always tell folks, y'all ain't gotta give your money to him. Y'all can go. You can go buy you. You can get you some Miller, or you can get you some garage beer. You ain't gotta buy that bullshit.
Yeah, like
Cookies out here wilding.
Yeah, fucking redneck. Like redneck, cheap motherfuckers who wanna, instead of buying craft beer or even buy something like Ryan guys, they'll buy the Natty Lights and they'll buy the real American beer, all that other bullshit.
And the bad part about it,
$8.
yeah, better off buying you something that you know tastes good instead of some shit that just came out in the last year called some real American beer. Like,
Tastes like water.
That's just ass water. Cookies out here cross-fed like a motherfucker.
Yo.
Well, I had me my nice little bottle of black chocolate stout from Kenny's neck of the woods, the Brooklyn Brewery.
That's the black chocolate?
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm. That's a good one. Well, folks, thank you for joining us as always. And don't forget, you can follow us at facebook.com/Under the Ring Pod and twitch.tv/Under the Ring Pod. You can also find us at Linktree/Under the Ring Pod and fingertip.com/Under the Ring Pod. Folks, don't forget to follow our page. If you follow our page, you'll find out that we, sometimes it's after 9-ish, most of the time on the Thursdays. But don't forget, Monday through Wednesday, we're here about 6:05. All right. Also on those individual links, you can find our individual links. Greg Bush SK on Twitter or X, however you want to call it, and Greg Bush on Blue Sky. You got me, Rock Ribs 44. You got Teach Man, Mr. Freshbeard, Mike Hall. You got the OTC, The Right Answer, Street Team Captain Bodiel Mariente, and local correspondent Justin Devontae Swang de Baxley. Thank you for joining us. It was a pleasure. Have a safe weekend. Because we're going to be seeing you. Have a good one. And as always, what we do here, we do the Don. Don what? The Don Image. The Don Image. That's what it stands for, folks. That's what it stands for, folks.
This